worse because she hates her job? The Earth Directorate needs to invest in a suggestion box.
The K lets you know it's authentic. Now with 110% of your daily chemicals and preservatives.
With a door this tough, they must be storing something good in there.
Yeah, guns, armor, probably some ammunition too. Honestly, Kemp ain't that much of a mystery.
You're thinking too small, Murph. I'd put money on the Protectorate stashing treasure inside. A whole pool of bits enough to swim in.
It's a constabulary, not a bank. And certainly not some kind of gold-filled swimming hole. Besides, these Protectorate lack imagination. Never had an original thought wasn't written down for them first. Like I told you before, it's probably just gun. I'd love to see the quartermaster's face after turning her lamps onto that requisition request.
Fine. Skip drives out. Say, maybe we could commandeer one of them tractors out in the field instead. Oh, bet that could plow through the door.
Blowtorch,
Hand crank.
electric saw.
Oh, and there was that attempt with the automech. Wonder if they ever got it walking again.
In case you haven't noticed, we're in the middle of a war. And hard to say whether we're winning or not. Better question is why no one else is treating this like a top priority. In any siege, advantage goes to the defenders. Right now, the Protectorate still has control of the bridge to the Vox station. That station is the key to taking Paradise Island. When, Officer Carr ever gets the go-ahead, we need to be ready. Right. With all our new trainees, we've got the numbers. But bodies won't mean diddly without the weapons and equipment hopefully inside that armory.
If there are any weapons at all, I still say it's treasure. This is Eden after all.
You've made your case, Kemp. I'm more interested in hearing the opinion of our new friend here. What do you suppose is in there?
Don't that strike you as a touch simple? And anyway, why would the Protectorate lock up everything they'd need to fight back? Unless they were trying to keep it from an invading force. Saying it aloud's altered my opinion somewhat. Fine. It's possible. I'll grant you.
I don't see it mattering much either way. That door is sealed tighter than a salt tuna can. Nobody's getting through anytime soon. You sound like you've got something percolating.
Oh, really? Why didn't you lead with that?
Ordinarily, I'd question how you came about such a unique skill set. But circumstances being what they are, have at it. Just know we're keeping an eye on you.
Leave me be. I have no interest in dealing with the machinations of you dark marketers today. Have you two come to mock me like your fellow dullards? Perhaps if you rub together your only 2 brain cells, you might even come up with something approaching cutting. No. Wait. You're not some corporate simpleton, are you? On the contrary, you have the manner of an officer about you. Someone who understands the substantive weight of command. Please, allow me to start over. I am Warden Sterling, dedicated servant of the Protector of Arcadia and Caretaker of Worlds, the Sovereign Henry Varick. I'm not that kind of warden. It's a title of distinction for those who serve in the Protectorate military, short for Warden of the Realm. And if I did, what a strange argument. Obviously, I would prefer the contents of the armory remain with the Protectorate, but circumstances being what they are, perhaps you're right. We need more privacy before continuing this conversation. Go to the back of the building, and I shall meet you at the window of my cell. I'll be waiting.
Don't go into that cheap saloon if you got a lick of gumption. They got no tolerance for it. Why do you think I'm out here? Has nothing to do with my current and very temporary shortage of funds.
We should be able to speak freely here without the risk of being overheard. There is an entrance on the roof by which you may gain ingress. Had these 2 dolts bothered to do even the most cursory inspection, they'd have found it. I leave that to you to discover. Be grateful I offered you this much. That is all I have for you. I must recuse myself now, lest I draw undue attention and be subjected to another lecture on the benefits of the free market. Goodbye, and pray we never meet outside this constabulary. I will, of course, be required by duty to meet you as an adversary under such circumstances.
Boy, take this terminal and trash it. That's it. I need a smoke. If you're about to blast me about fixing that void-forsaken terminal, it'll have to wait. I'm entitled to a break like anyone else. It's in my contract. I triple-checked. What do you think the smokes are for? It's like getting a few breaths of air while standing in a decompressing cargo bay, so... yes and no. I'm getting pressure from the folks up top to deploy these Protectorate drones to the military camp on behalf of Auntie's Choice. That terminal's been giving me some trouble. The drones are ready to launch. All that needs doing is fixing their targeting priorities so they mark us as friendlies. But I can't breach the terminal's security protocols. Drones are only as dangerous as their programming. But it's a moot point anyway. These ones ain't gonna shift on their own anytime soon. And that there's a problem. I know it probably seems like we're up to our ducks in troops, but half of them are ex-Protectorate trainees who can't tell the business end of a rifle. We need these drones. Guessing that means you're flat out of ideas? Figures. Not that I need the help of some Protectorate townie, understand, but... I might have heard my predecessor was odd-jobbing it around town these days. Magnus, I think his name was. Bet a fellow drone operator like him would have some insight into all this... perplexity.
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the wind. Well, maybe I am drunk. Drunk on bold ideas.
get in there. Huh. Guns after all. Most of these irons look pretty old-fashioned, too. A bit lackluster, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's real sad how our trainees will have the armaments to defend us now. I swear, Kemp, sometimes I wonder about you. I'd say you've earned that lead pusher.
Thanks for all your help. We'll put in a good word for you with the higher-ups first chance we get.
Blood in the talent pool around here with these protectorate defectors. Not sure how I feel about that. Except that I hate it.
Yes, Eddie. Oh, no, disturbed him. Oh, your husband. If you can no, if you understand, can. What? No. Yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain. Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant, ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my 2 old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No, Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering in good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spine. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Now hold a moment, Carr. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Alone at last. I never thought she'd leave. Now then, allow me to introduce myself. I am D.B. Milver Street, Minister of Marketing, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottiere, President of Promotional Material. Tell me, do you believe in signs? I say, anyone can be an ally, even a supposed enemy. All you need is the right combination of motivators. I do not believe in signs. I believe in opportunities. Right now, at this moment, you and I have an opportunity to save countless lives. But I'm hardly the type to beg and ask for nothing in return. Tell me, what do you desire of this island?
With that hat? Absolutely not.
Is this a bad time to mention I can read lips? I've some faint recollections of the fuzz beneath my hat. Perhaps I saw such a name amidst my perusal of the Protectorate domicile assignment records. The record room is in this building. You have my permission to peruse at your leisure. But surely a go-getter like yourself has more ambitious goals on our island. Share them with me, and we can brave them together. tisk tisk. I appreciate your devotion to remaining mum, but I simply cannot work with a freelancer who I do not intimately understand. I see. Return when you feel more forthcoming.
Watch out for that Auntie Cleo. I know she don't look it, but she's more dangerous than she seems. Even the whole of Spacer's Choice couldn't outmaneuver her.
Didn't catch a look at your uniform before. Oh, the reaching arm of the Earth Directorate, wagging its fingers and snagging our pocketbooks. Hope you won't be a problem. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, head of aggressive acquisitions and persons elimination on Paradise Island. Let no one say I can't be official when circumstances merit. Now, not to say I question the presence of a wayward sightseer in the midst of a war-torn waste, but it might be safer for us both if I knew your purpose. The Vox, eh? Bent on bloody self-destruction, I could just have my troops dispatch you, save you the effort. Although if you were keen on continuing to draw breath, perhaps you and I could broker a deal. There are Protectorate vitals need bled. You could do the bleeding. Unusual refers to every turncoat and is not a halfway strong enough phrase. Try gormless cretins who can not so much as wipe their running noses without begging permission. Don't know if there's a DeVries here, not my department. Milver Street befriends the ex-subjects, keeps tabs on them. Ask him. Why are you looking for them? Who are they to you? Sorry to be the one to say it, but if your friend is still amidst Protectorate ranks, bet as good as any they may have met their end. My employer would assuredly be filled with wrath if it were my forces I were committing. But enlisting a freelancer on my own dime is hardly committing any forces. If you fail, I'll be out nothing, and Auntie shall be none the wiser. And if you succeed, I can't be blamed if my plans came to fruition on their own. Ah, I haven't broken an idealist over my knee in ages. Open your ears wide, friend, for this is a whetstone well scoured. Efficiency saves human lives. Engage a detachment in open combat. Expect dozens dead on both sides. Kill their commander beforehand. Doesn't seem capable of understanding such. I hope you're a sharper sort than he. Willing to do what must be done. This fine settlement is Fairfield. Once in the Protectorate's grasping claws, now Auntie's newest foothold on Paradise Island. When we arrived, it was thick with yaysayers, a hair's breadth away from sacrificing themselves to their old masters. Now they've seen the golden glow of the free market. Entertaining as it is to root out dozens of entrenched, suicidally murderous subjects, I'd take the efficiency of capitulation any day. Couldn't say. Maybe Milver Street's hearts and minds drivel holds weight after all. Though you'll pardon me for not dropping low and begging his forgiveness. The subjects are his problem now. Myself? I'm focused on making sure the Protectorate doesn't bring them back into the fold by force. All a half measure earns in war is maimed bodies with nothing to show for it. You'd best come back once you understand my way of thinking.
Commander, There is a 98.7% chance that hunting Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you.
Welcome, welcome. See anything you like? Well, if it isn't a new face in Fairfield. What I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? Oh, that? That's nothing. Just, supply list. Oh. I suppose my advertorial deficiencies are obvious, huh? Knew I should have gone in on that extra training course. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? I've been working the store going on a few weeks now. Got promoted shortly after Auntie's Choice liberated Fairfield. Still finding my stride with all the marketing suavities, as you witnessed. Advertising's been a right struggle to get a hold of, much to my chagrin. Well, advertising is an essential part of my business. But I haven't got any new products to advertise. Just the same stock I had yesterday. And the day before that. According to the guide, in situations such as this, I'm to consult my marketing department for new copy. Except I don't have one of those either. I didn't want to seem discourteous by asking. I still sometimes forget this isn't the Protectorate. Maybe I will put in the request. That'll sure show some initiative. Thanks for all your help. Now, is there anything I can do for you? Thanks for noticing. All part of the presentation, of course. Think success, present success, be success. It'd be a mite tricky for anyone to swipe something when I'm standing right here. Nothing gets past these peepers. Sprats again. Must be after the crunch. Please wait here. This'll just take a moment. Welcome, welcome. See anything you like? No sign of them sprats, thank law. Coming back out. Be there in a moment. How can I improve your day the Auntie's way? Like they say, a bit spent today is a bullet fired tomorrow.
must be the greenhouse. You know, one where that Emmeline is supposed to be moving stolen goods.
Auntie's Choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills and an ointment away.
Ectoplasm. Wait. Nope. Just Taro X-ray. Good. Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Sure as I am, there's a fine tale to be told there. I've got one of my own to share with a more pressing need to address. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse late. Figured it for Emmeline, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost them hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. More or less. Maybe I'm not telling it right, but believe you me, it was downright uncanny. Strangest part is that foodstuffs have also been disappearing from the greenhouse since we took Fairfield. You think it's all connected? I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, be my guess. Well, maybe. I still don't know all the particulars, yet. But it's one theory. I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see you disappeared like that foodstuffs.
What's the fastest way to climb the corporate ladder?
Do your immediate supervisor's job better? Make them look bad? You could also cross them off, all else fails.
You mean murder them? That's not against your laws?
Nothing's against the law if you don't get caught doing it. Yes?
May the sovereign... have a profitable day! corporate life is so confusing for us. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure, shoot.
Thank you.
Are you gonna ask your question?
I did. When I asked if I could ask a question, that was my question. You don't ask too many questions. So it felt good to have you.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Is that not why you've come? Because you discovered our recent larceny at the greenhouse? The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on one or two rage over this insulting interrogation. And that scent you so subtly pointed out is the aroma of noble effort. Foreign to you, I'm sure.
Thought I saw you disappear in here. Oh. Seems I've stumbled into quite the shindig. You lot been hiding out in here all this time? Touch cramped, ain't it?
Please, stay. It would please me to end the lives of 2 invaders as opposed to 1.
Not very copacetic, are you folks?
If this exchange is not to your liking, I can accommodate you with a bullet instead. And if I deny your assessment? Ordinarily, I would feel confident about having the superior number. But as you pointed out, our condition is rather deleterious at the moment. Very well. With so many invaders yet to slay, I would be remiss to relinquish our lives in such an unworthy duel. We surrender. For now.
That was some slick talking. Can't believe you got them to surrender without firing a shot. I thought for sure we'd have to blast our way out of here. Guess I had this mystery all wrong. A small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. I appreciate that. Never really talked about the direction of my thoughts on this topic with no one before. Wow, it's like I'm lighter. Thank you for everything. Truly.
This is but a momentary setback.
I'm practically a detective now. Wonder what other mysteries around here need solving.
Can't get that Andy's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander? It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Auntie Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Fun, sure. Always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind? Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure. Always happy to tour around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
Choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Jaw, Zero G Brew, and antibiotics. Everything you need to get through your day.
So who are you rooting for in the tossball leagues this season? I mean tossball. You know, weekend zones, foot goals, offside hooks, hackers, tenders, wingers.
Yes, we are
ask them defectors if they miss anything about Protectorate life.
10 bits, they said community. Doc said nothing important got hit.
John without a
Do I look
counter's
approachable?
top of my
Because I'm not.
list.
No signs of corrosion. Exhaust manifold still warm. Come on, baby. I can't help you if you don't tell me what's wrong. All right, so you got her working. Bully for you. No, sorry, you're right. You did me, and all of Fairfield, a good turn here. Just thought I'd feel more relieved when the launcher was working again. There's just this weight in my chest won't loosen. Worry gunking up my inner workings. Protectorate could launch an attack from that Vox station anytime. What if the mines aren't enough? Why do you think I was so twisted up about the launcher? I know I can be brusque. The word unpleasant's also been bandied about before. Yeah, I'm a real piece of work. Maybe that's why we worked well together. Here, managed to cobble some frags together from a damaged mine earlier. Who knows? Might get you out of a pinch one of these days. And seeing how expertly you worked, you may as well take this armor modification too. I'm sure you'll have an easier time installing it than I would.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I could liquefy them. Apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. I am Ethel Tinsley, chimeric scientist. I'm responsible for taming this delightful raptidon here. He will protect our fair town from his feral brethren in the wilds. Theoretically. Officer Carr has been in a state waiting for me to train the raptidons to, maul on command. It's rather pressing, and alas, one scientist-turned tamer can only do so much. One might say I'm perhaps a bit on edge. Folk here have grown weary, shall we say, with the war effort, and with avoiding Carr and the minister's would-be fisticuffs. If you too have spotted the chasm between them, I fear the Protectorate have already pinpointed the way with which to exploit it. I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. The fact is that those two never got along particularly well, even under the best of circumstances. One wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. As for which approach is best, I wish I knew. Have they? Goodness. Then it seems things are more precarious than I realized. If you do intend to lend your aid to the Minister or Officer Carr, I only ask that you consider the ramifications. Very well. I ought to focus more on my work than on social tensions anyhow. I work directly with Officer Carr and her soldiers to ensure they're outfitted with the best Raptidon counterparts Paradise Island can provide. In theory, they'll be trusted to guard our most precious assets, including our leadership. For now, they deter encroachment from wild Raptidons. It's most agreeable. Trust me, they are safer here than out in the wilds. I have been reprimanded thrice now for undue pampering. I would not be here if this experiment was still causing needless suffering.
Keep them coming. I can do this all day. All over but the paperwork. That's the third drone in as many days. Where are the void damn things coming from?
Not likely. I've been keeping my lamps open for these things ever since they started attacking. But thanks for the concern all the same.
Of course, we could have staunched the flow of drones by now if Officer Carr dispatched another patrol, as I requested, but no such luck.
That was a nasty one. Drone downed him on the reload. I do hope he's on the mend now. Erickson's a fine fellow, if a rather poor shot. He told you about that? That blasted, well-meaning gas bag. Now I gotta ask him to strike my involvement from his report to Officer Carr. You see, I wasn't exactly authorized to be shoring up other patrols on the perimeter. In fact, I might have been specifically ordered not to leave this spot. Thanks. Well, at least some people in this unit still understand the concept of discretion. And taking initiative.
Trouble is, it's only a matter of time before these Protectorate drones break through and do some real damage to Fairfield. If you're keen on lending a hand, Bounty Terminal's just left of the constabulary. Carr doesn't trust me with that kind of work anymore. Not after my last performance review. So I guess we're trusting in degenerate bounty hunters now.
Really? Because that one looks like it's about due for the scrapyard.
Hey now, don't let the scratches fool you. Val here is in tip-top shape. Ain't that right, Val?
Error. Logic assembly not responding. Please ask your query at a later time.
This does not increase my confidence. However, given the state of my performance review, it's not like I'm one to talk. Really wish I could give those drones a piece of my mind. Unfortunately, I need to hang back and exercise my obedience to authority. Go out there and do what I can't. Show that bounty terminal and those Protectorate drones why no one fucks with Fairfield.
Gonna need a bigger storeroom for all these orders. Let me guess. Gun keeps jamming, armor don't quite fit snug as you like. State your division and I'll get you outfitted, quick and proper, or your next provision's free. Astounded the minister hasn't yet converted you to our cause. But in the meantime, I'll trade you my own bona fides for jotting down your name. I'll bet spend the same to me. As Chief Replenishment Officer, it's my privileged duty to furnish our brave troops with all of their wartime essentials. You could say I put the ration in liberation. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. No one here but you, me, and several tons of well-oiled machinery. That's good eye. Though I'd say they're better than nice. Got more armor than a hammerclaw, but better flight handling than the old clunkers we used to stock. If things had turned out differently, it might be someone else standing here, while I'd be off piloting one of those beauties. Don't have the aptitude for flight, apparently. But this role suits me fine. I like the upward mobility, in the metaphorical business sense, I mean. I heard you got the bug, huh? Huh. All right, come on. Let's give you a quick tour. She's a beauty up close, ain't she? More cylinders than you can count powering her engines. She uses her shape to drop like a stone during landing. Counters headwinds pretty well, too. I could stand here all day just admiring. And over there, you see, the fuselage has been modified to endure the pressure of repeated entries, which is... but listen to me blathering on. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. As a friendly reminder, all sales are final, especially ammunition.
Take whatever business you're running elsewhere.
The target's not on the ground, recruits. Trainee Lindell, be so kind as to remind us all what the first rule of the range is.
Guns are weapons, not toys.
And do we aim weapons at colleagues or at our own unprotected upper stories, even in jest? Hint, we do not.
Give Auntie 2 bits, and she'll give you some new glitz. Give Auntie 5 bits, and she'll give you a facial spritz.
The soldiers before you are former protectorate subjects, mainly of the farming variety. No knowledge of combat. Scarce experience wielding anything deadlier than a wrench. They are accustomed to being told what to do, when to do it, even how to think. A lifetime of habitual servitude is not broken in a day. I'm only responsible for familiarizing them with the weapons they will come to rely on in future. However, having observed them on the range, they fail every hurdle, but keep getting back up. I'd say that speaks to an admirable resilience. Or stupidity. Difficult to say which. I'm not one to idle in the path of a good faith effort to accelerate education. The faster we can get more soldiers in the field, the better. There's just one problem. I don't know you. So, respectfully, I must ask, what do you feel qualifies you to give instruction to my recruits?
What? Oh, sure thing. The commander here is an experienced Deadeye and a natural leader. If you're looking for someone to deposit a few pearls of wisdom, I guarantee you'll not find better.
Much as I'm inclined to trust the word of your compatriot, I still expect you to advocate for yourself. You're the one who wishes to speak with my recruits, after all, not him. You do have a certain confidence about you that is presently absent in these recruits. Very well, I'll allow you to speak with them. Don't make me regret this. Attention trainees, guns down. That means you too, Simpson. We have a guest who has a few words to share.
You have something to say to us? Wait, I know this one. Low overhead and competitive prices.
Off with anti-fizzos, bottled under more than 3 atmospheres of pressure.
Consider your fellow troopers as siblings in arms, trustworthy, reliable. They are not, as we have discussed, meat shields.
All right. Do seem to recall a discussion like that now that you mention it.
Yes, and a corporate ladder means there's always somewhere greater to reach. Now, if Auntie's faith in you is not misplaced, then prove it, trainees! Weapons at the ready! And fire! Well done, trainees! Well done! It appears your words have had their intended effect. Oh, thank law. The trainees seem quite taken with you, too. As I suspect they would riot if I let you leave without a reward, please, accept this revolver with Auntie's thanks. Land willing, I will have as much success deploying your wisdom with my next batch of recruits. Capital shot, recruit.
Protectorate folks must have been bored out of their skulls before we showed up. Now life in Fairfield's a real shindig. Well, except for the handful of hull heads who couldn't accept this place under new management. We sure fixed them. Boy, damn right we did.
Something I can help you with? Not yet. Though, if anyone asks, I'm making unprecedented progress. You'd think so, huh? But these Protectorate systems aren't like ours back home. Trip the wrong switch and you get locked out. Have to start all over. Ask me how I know. Have another smoke? And I will, approximately 15 minutes from now. I'm starting my break over on account of certain intrusions. You vent all the fun out of being agreed with.
chic putting the Earth Directorate symbol on her wall after everything she's done.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. It seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me. Though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it. Though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? No. No. You didn't know her. Not like I did. Like I thought I did. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in judging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangular, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. Some might embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figured my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangular. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. The Order of the Ascent is just another sect of the Order of Scientific Inquiry. The Grand Plan and all that used to be part of the Protectorate before their big falling out. Believe they can predict the future or some such, but nice plan-abiding folks don't kill for the betterment of their cause. I can't believe the Order plotted our murder. But 10 years ago, I would have said the same about DeVries. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic, real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Used to think they were good people trying to do right by their beliefs. But if they put the idea in DeVries' head to leave us for dead, it might be time I reassess that opinion. I don't take issue with folks clinging to whatever keeps them afloat. Math, science, the grand architect, void, even capital. I know how most colonies run. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. If only DeVries had shared in our good judgment, huh? Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there. Reckon there's got to be someone on the island who can help us with that. Let's keep asking around. Friendly-like.
Juliana. Oh, my Juliana. Even though I now rank among the Protectorate's foes, I hoped you would return to me. Every night I would sneak out of Fairfield, despite the danger, desperate to find you. Hoping you would see fit to join your wife. Yet no one has heard from you since you went to the Skycutter facility. Not in 2 weeks. I can only assume the worst. I don't think I can stay in this town any longer. Perhaps if I return to suffer the Protectorate's justice, I shall at least learn what became of you. And if you are gone, I hope I shall be executed. Then at least we shall be together.
Why do you corporate folks do all the hard work instead of letting auto mechanicals do it?
Because we get paid to do it. We need the money so
I'm simply not credulous enough to accept this is where I've ended up. Doing the work of at least 3 lackeys. Or a full half-dozen automechs, all by my lonesome. I'd welcome you, would-be consumer, but we are not a retail operation. Please visit the various consumer locations around Fairfield for all your purchasing needs. I have far too many claims on my time to be able to cater to the curious at the moment. I was meant to have help, but they lacked here. Breaking my back trying to buttress all these vines on top of all my other jobs. Oh, the bits I wouldn't pay for some of those mechs the Protectorate used to work this place. So, is there anything else, or can I get back to work? Quite the setup, ain't it? Before we took Fairfield, Auntie's Choice didn't have anything like this. Every kind of plant we've got was made to thrive in a chemical vat. But the Protectorate grows all their greens the old-fashioned way, with water and soil and actual fertilizer. I can't decide if it's adorably quaint or just plain daft. Then again, they all only have one job, so they have the time to indulge in all those sorts of archaic whimsies. Really? Feel you're entitled to that information, do you? Because all these plants were unknown inside Auntie's Choice. And there's a good chance we can make something of them. Though I expect word any day that the big brains in R&D will have tweaked and twisted these plants so they're better than nature. Then we push the new product on the market. And my contract says I get 0.003427% of net after development, testing, packaging, advertising, and distribution costs. So you know, this is a pretty big deal for me. You read my terminal? How embarrassing. The compliance adjusters broke the door lock when they arrested my predecessor, and I haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. Not that I thought anyone had come snooping. I'd made careful arrangements to tie up everyone's loose ends. Everyone except you, it seems. So, why are you so interested in my other work? You're not part of compliance. Because Auntie's Choice expects you to forge a path that's ambitious and self-deterministic, but not so much so that it disrupts other folks' ambition and self-determinism. Plah. I can't even fathom Auntie's economy if every eager go-getter operating on the gray edge of strictly legal suddenly closed up shop. Our whole society would fall to ruins. You know, I've been looking for some backfills with the kind of cleverness usually only found on the seedy lower decks of the claim. Feel like making a few bits? It's Auntie's flagship, where all the best movers, shakers, and up-and-coming ne'er-do-wells hone their killer instincts. Work for me and you may see it someday. Interested? I'm part of Sub Rosa. We're a group of merchants, information brokers, and commodity traders who deal outside the systems most folk are confined by. We're the best way to get things done in anti-space if you're looking for profit. Want to buy it, sell it, move it? We've got someone to do it for you. Puh, they were rubes, nitwits, dolts so lacking in faculties that they couldn't handle the minuscule, and by that I mean damn tiny, amount of discretion this job requires. They had to be dealt with so we could all get back to work. And now that I'm here, things will be running right smoothly. So, long as your brain pan's filled with more than a half-dead sprat spinning on a rusty wheel, I absolutely guarantee this is a no-risk venture. Well, isn't that just wonderful? I had no suspicion when you walked through my door that you'd help resolve the last of the morass Paradise Island has become for us. And all we need you to do is access Quartermaster Cardos's terminal and scrub any Spectrum vodka from her ledgers. It's already been resold, so having it in her system could become problematic. Expunge it, and I get you some bits, and the friendship of Sub Rosa all over the system. It'll probably be nothing. She's just a sergeant, not someone who has any real pull. And I've already made arrangements with everyone who matters. So, if she catches you, about the worst she can do is a switch on the wrist. Because we are the black market in Arcadia. Odds are, at some point, you're going to need something you just can't get legally. Then you'll be thrilled we're associated. Sub Rosa feeds that appetite to not just survive, but to thrive. And that's taking all of us places. We're more than simple opportunists. We are opportunistically driven. Trust me, for both short-term benefits and long-term prospects, you want to be our friend. And I'll be waiting here with your bits.
for Auntie. I so eagerly want to contribute to the corporate whole.
Cool your thrusters, friend. A little gumption goes a long way in this town. Only freshman around here has got Auntie Fizzo on the bottle. Really takes the edge off.
everyone's cut out for life in an anti-encampment. It's intense. My commanding manager gave me great advice. If you got time to leave, you got time to clean the latrine.
How do you Protectorate folk feel about all these little rifts? Auntie insists they're the next big money-making opportunity.
Hello again. How grand. That officially mops up the last of the mess from the buffoons that came before me. And, as promised, my good fortune is also your good fortune. And while this might be a tad fewer bits than you were hoping for, remember, you've also made allies that you'll find all across Arcadia. Just keep watching for paintings of a stylish yellow rose with a split black circle near the middle. Like the one you passed on your way in. Find that rose, and you find Sub Rosa.
This paradigm thing you people are always going on about. Does it really improve your life?
Those Protectorate folks in Westport. Think they'll ever come around?
They better. If they don't defect, they're done for. I hear the Protectorate brass cross off.
I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn, but void it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-Protectorate, a good man. Tracked him to Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit? Brief one, of course. Not sure he'd still consider me such, but that's part and parcel of the reason I want to see him. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting Protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, Well, all my directorate talk fired in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Wasn't like I didn't want to take things farther, hit the Protectorate where it hurt. But I still had my cover to think of too. I couldn't risk disrupting the mission. I'd feel better about that commendation if things hadn't turned out as they did. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Guess some of what you said way back when stuck. All that talk about putting people first. Figured that's what I was doing. Putting a stop to all the pain I was causing. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there. Let's keep your lamps lit for wildlife.
Hostile wildlife. Familial classification of Raptidon. Detected ahead. Entering a confrontational.
Let's just take the heat off you, Commander. Just stay with it.
Standing by with life support.
We're closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I...
I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us. Her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things, for some reason she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That and the invasion itself set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she... well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter. And she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting messages. See you in the equation. It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked. One of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much. At least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No. Nearest I could surmise, she'd left just prior to the fall of Fairfield. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe. She used the same code for everything. 15-778.
That is Agent DeVries' identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. And they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
Slow, Commander.
Take it up with the head office. Do I look approachable? Because I'm not.
Can't you see I'm busy trying to look busy?
Spare me your sales pitch.
Rips like this have been popping up all over.
Spatial anomaly detected. Physical engagement is not recommended at this time. Feels good to be back in the saddle, don't it, Val? Kind of reminds me of our days in Nix's orbit, dodging protectorate patrols. You remember that? Error. Memory not found.
Ah, well. That's all right, Val. I'll just have to do the remembering for both of us.
Slow down. Schultz went where? Sakes alive. Schultz! Anyone got lamps on Schultz? Anyone? Void be damned. Sallying into the wire like that with nary a wish in her pocket? What was she thinking? Did I not make clear our orders to hold the line here regardless of provocation? Should my instructions have been more robust? Perhaps assisted by pictures?
I'm afraid there's more bad news, Commander. She also took Scrabbles, sir.
Would that he'd done her more good. Seems Calamity has claimed 2 good soldiers today. You there. I don't normally sanction nameless passers-by giving ear to my private discourse. Whatever your purpose, I feel a contractual obligation to warn you against setting a heel past this base. If you go any further, you go alone and at your own peril. No Anti's forces are permitted beyond the forward position upon pain of disemployment and possible litigation. Our orders are to sit and mind the store for as long as need be. It is difficult for me to accept such laudations at the moment, given recent losses. But I suppose you make a fair point. By steadfastly holding the line here, we forestall any retribution the Protectorate would seek to inflict upon Fairfield. And we will continue, said watch, until orders change. Calamity digs its claws in deeper. Thank you for notifying me of their demise. I'll send a car for replacements, and pray we do not suffer another attack before then. I'd thank you to affix some ballast to that name when you speak it. Scrabbles has been integral to this unit's success for years. Outsiders may see him as a toy, but we've bled alongside that stuffed sprat. He's damn near family. Schultz obviously knew the risks and hoped he'd protect her through the minefield. Alas, even Scrabble's power has limits. Still would help morale to get him back, though. I'll pardon your skepticism given your lack of acquaintance, and say only this. Ask not what Scrabbles achieves for us, but what we can achieve with him. I half believed you meant that offer, unless you weren't being playful. I confess, the challenge of holding the forward position does not satisfy, as might a straight-on tussle. But I would prefer to avoid staining my reputation by participating in such a needless blunder. Carr was, shall we say, non-ambiguous with her orders. Far be it from me to speak poorly of a superior, but I have pondered over her choices as of late. She's been sullen about sharing her strategy, too. Still, however brightly my star burns, I remain in her orbit. She is my superior officer. I defied her once, and I received the verbal tanning of a lifetime for it. I will take action when action is appropriate, and I'd suggest you modulate your tone more appropriately the next time we speak.
Watch your vitals! Take a look at those corpses they've got strung up. Wait. Some aren't dead yet.
Decomposition rate 12 to 17%.
Didn't really need to know that. Let's just respect the dead or very slowly dying, shall we?
You there. Keep your hand. Stranger, consider yourself lucky that I've been ordered to not open fire unless fired upon. I will not suffer an outsider to trespass and trample further through our lands. Turn back from this bridge now, lest my ever-depleting prudence be spent. If you are not a loyal Protectorate subject, you will not cross this bridge. Be grateful I do not judge with such haste as my superior to the north, Brigadier Montelli. He's been fervent of late, looking for any Protectorate subjects who have displayed disloyalty in his estimation. Any associations with wrongdoers results in swift execution. That has, unfortunately, put many folk in his sights, myself included. And so we wait for the proverbial axe to fall. Betraying the Protectorate, using the Sovereign's name in vain, overindulging in food and drink, loafing, boasting, belching, and of course, colluding with wrongdoers. But I have not actually done wrong. I simply have the misfortune of knowing those who have. And the Protectorate cannot survive if good subjects are punished so indiscriminately. I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate. I know of 2 traitors who yet remain on this island. Bring them to me, and I'll dispose of them before the Brigadier questions my loyalty and deems me guilty by association. In return, I shall grant you clearance to cross the bridge. Fair exchange, wouldn't you say?
A lot more folks are gonna die if we don't catch up to DeVries. We have to consider our options, even the ugly ones. If these folks are deserving, maybe it's worth it.
I commend you for your eager interest. I think 2 traitors in particular. First is Ida Rutledge, a worker at Spire Grove. I once had utmost respect for her. We were... oh, damn it all, we were friends. When the Grove went silent during the invasion, I assumed she'd fought to the death as any subject would. But reportedly, she's not only failed to die, but is also teaching the enemy soldiers how to use the equipment. Conspiring against us. Such treachery is unconscionable. The second traitor I seek is Charlton Weintrot of Westport. He is, unfortunately, my cousin, and most assuredly a disgrace to our line. He too failed to die defending his home during the invasion alongside the other residents of Westport. They'll be seen to in time. But Charlton, well, I must deal with him personally. Oh, how I anticipate wiping that smug expression off his face. An outrageous notion. Fairfield was never my jurisdiction, and its stewards died valiantly in its defense. They did not submit to the enemy. And look here, the bridge stands. I am through justifying myself. Bring me the traitors we discussed if you wish to cross the bridge. But beware if you step out of line. Other subjects may not be so generous with their deal-making as I. Farewell.
Take a look at those corpses they've got strung up. Wait. Some are dead.
Gary? For the love of bits, don't get any closer to it. Boy-brained idiot. Put down the bottle and stop doing stupid shit. Get away from there.
Quit your worrying. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Gary!
Initiating solemn farewell. Goodbye, unnamed trooper. You may
Hey!
or may not be missed by family.
Do you think he'll come back?
May or may not possess.
noticing a lot of screws going missing on board the ship. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
No missing fastener reports have been filed with this unit.
Let me rephrase. Have you been collecting screws for some reason?
Affirmative. Multiple replacement screws have been collected in accordance with pending work order from Agent Amara. I must have a screw loose.
It's a figure of speech, Val.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating
Careful,
Base.
friend. Reckon there
North of
might
Piers
be a
and
few
Chapel.
loose raptidons
Dang.
wandering
Gotta
around.
be charging for information.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last 472 means they're gonna fill anything that moves forward. Word is.
Lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must. My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though
The wave is right for you.
I hate that kind of work. It always sounds like so much effort. That kind of thing ain't even on my contract. Milver Street is offering bits rewards for anything of import we can tell them. But I do love bids. Come on, friend. Let's go set our lamps on something juicy from the
You're a lot of time to impress me as
Can't you
already
see him on the
expired.
clock here?
Do I look approachable? Because I'm not.
I don't even want to think about the damage those crabbles are gonna do to my machine. Peddle your wares elsewhere.
Can't help you. Sorry.
Personal, like, traded some wages not to have to deal with
If you're wondering why there's so many engineers sitting here on their rears, it's because the dang cobbles ran us out of the desalinator. Now we're stuck
How
here
about I do
on
my job and
standby
you
wages.
do whatever.
Scout report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if Command has temporarily put the actual fighting to a stop.
Acute cantankerousness in the Vietnam Guards. A stealthy approach is suggested.
What was that?
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
Got trouble, mate.
your command.
Damn you!
Happy to assist in crafting more ammo if you need it. Can't get that Andy's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure. Always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
I've counted at least 6 horrendous death screams since you arrived. You must be affected as well. You seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Elmet Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor. Yes, such heart-rending events. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me, as an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment. Whole thing was ghastly. One of my assistants and I heard a loud noise. He left to investigate while I continued working on our experiment. When he failed to return, I peeked outside and saw the others run in, bloody, gibbering, hunting for targets. They'd clearly been exposed to some virulent new form of experimental agent. I ran back and locked myself in this test chamber to avoid contamination. Well, you'd certainly think so, but management sets the goals. Our humble research team works to deliver. Our lab had been researching the red spores that grow nearby to see if they might contribute to future Auntie's Choice products. As per usual, we threw precaution to the wind. A local spore sample interacted with a wonderfully preservative-rich diet of Auntie's Choice personnel, inadvertently leading to a chance reaction causing profound irritability. To a somewhat homicidal degree, it would seem to appear. By that measure, our work here could be considered a moderate success. Well, of course, succeeding in a haphazard fashion is one of the first courses taught to Auntie's Choice students in any field. But yes, I am something of a visionary. You see, our lab is a far cry from the others. You're part of something bigger here. The individual not only thrives, but shines even more brightly with the help of their brethren. It all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interests of everyone's careers. A rising tide raises all boats, as they say. Speaking of the team, such as they are in their present deranged state, how did you make it past them? You know, without being killed. I find that highly unlikely. Some failed attempt at levity, perhaps, to mask fear. No matter. What matters most is getting out of here alive, saving our researchers a close second, and curing my remaining colleagues a firm third. As you're now one of them, I'll take that as a compliment. But enough glad-handing me. Regarding what we need, well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Oh dear. It's occurred to me this might benefit to some extent from medical training. Are you perhaps someone well-versed with pharmacological matters? Apologies. I do tend to assume everyone has a doctorate. No matter, if you are capable of following simple instructions, I'm sure I can guide you through it. Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? We'll need two things. Fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course. Fresh spores will be key in the formulation of an antidote, as will the particulars and analysis from the expedition. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here, ingeniously referred to as the Red Spire. The research team's findings are on a terminal in another building on these same grounds, a satellite lab to this one, if you will. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remaining colleagues, so best not murder them all in the meantime.